Hey, it's Paul from howtoplaybassdotcom. In today's lesson, we're going to look at the main parts for the song I Want Your Love by Chic. Bass on this, of course, was played by the very great and the late and lamented Bernard Edwards. Only two sections of the song that we're going to look at. Essentially, Bernard sets up what he's going to play and pretty much delivers it without too many variations. So I'm going to give you the basic part for the intro stroke chorus stroke instrumental, and then there's another part for the verse where it just vamps on the A minor chord. There are some minor variations in the actual original. If you want, you can go to the original and lift those, but these two basic parts will allow you to play through the song authentically, and they're cool parts as well. So that's what we're going to do today. Before we get started, if you're not already a subscriber to my free monthly easy, click the link underneath the video and head over to my website and subscribe. In return for subscribing, you'll get a sequence of song tutorials in video and PDF format. These are all exclusive to subscribers. Additionally, there's a monthly tutorial, again in video and PDF format, again exclusive to subscribers. It will just cost your email address, take you less than a minute to do. So go and do that, and then come back here and we'll get started with the basic figure that's used in the chorus. Okay, the main section of I Want Your Love is used in the instrumental, it's used in the intro, and it's used in the chorus. It's a 4-bar pattern. You just heard it being played with Band in a Box a couple of times. Starts out in A. The first 2 bars we're going to play this. Okay, so that's essentially the first bar. It's just A and the open E string. A is played at the 5th fret of the E string. And you've got to get those notes short and staccato. And then you've got that pattern. Again, it's just made up of the open E string and A at the 5th fret. So you've got the open E string, the last 16th note of bar 1, and then you've got, which is just A, E, A. Then you've got a bit of rest between that A and then beat 3, and then you're going to hit a big fat open E on beat 3, and then you've got another open E string on the last 16th note of the 2nd bar. That takes us down to the 3rd bar, which is in F. It's an F major 7 chord, and we're just playing F, 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 E, F. F's the 1st fret of the E string, open E string of course, and then at the end of that bar we're going to transition to a D minor chord by playing open A string, E, E flat, open A string, E and E flat, 7th and 6th frets of the A string. Then you're going to play 2 Ds, and you're going to play open A string again and reverse that motion to get from D minor to E minor. You can play D and D sharp, 5th and 6th frets of the A string, play 2 staccato E's, and then we're going to use the open E string followed by G and G sharp, and using the open strings in that section allows you to move around the fretboard slightly. Excuse me. G and G sharp, 3rd and 4th frets of the E string. So that 2-bar pattern plays slowly. And it just goes round and round. Again, do note the use of those open strings to allow you to move, first of all, from here. Open A string allows you to get to there. And then the open E string allows you to get to there, to set the pattern up again. Nice useful thing to do, and if you take these patterns to other keys, all those open strings are on offbeats, so you could play them in keys that they shouldn't sound like they should work in, because the ear won't hear them long enough to register them as dissonance, so that you can use them as places where you can change, allows your hand to change position on the fretboard by using those open strings. It's a handy technique to know, handy little trick to know. As with a lot of these things, the guy who really brought that device, stylistic device to the bass was James Jamerson with his Motown stuff. He was a master of doing that kind of thing. So that's the chorus, sorry. One other section to look at, which is the verse, which is a 16-bar section where the chords don't change, it's just a vamp on A minor. So let's go look at the verse. Okay, you just heard the verse with the band in a box sketch track. It's a 4-bar pattern that repeats 4 times. The chord in the verse just stays on A minor. So we've got a 4-bar pattern. It's something like this, and I'll play it really slowly. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it starts out, first bar and the third bar, very similar to the pattern that we learnt in the chorus. So you've got 2 A's, staccato again, 5th fret of the E string, another A on the offbeat 16th note of the second beat, followed by an open E string, staccato A on the downbeat of beat 3, and then on the last 16th note of beat 4, another open E string. Play that pattern on its own. So something like that. Now the second bar we're going to play, so we're playing hammer on from G to A, then another A, G's the 3rd fret of the E string of course, then another A, then an open E, then a staccato A, and then that 3-bar pattern again, open E string, G and G sharp, 3rd and 4th frets of the A string. So when you put those together, the 2-bar pattern becomes, okay, and it just carries on and on. Now the very last time, if you want, in the last bar, the 16th bar, as you go back to the verse, you can put in a tiny little fill. So I'll do the 15th and the 6th bars. Back to the pattern for the chorus. So all you're doing there is after the staccato, it's basically instead of playing that pattern E, G, G sharp to get to the downbeat of the next bar, you're playing, which is G, A, 5th and 7th frets of the D string, then the open E string, which again, notice the use of the open E string to allow your hand to shift. As we saw in the chorus, that's a feature of this bass line. So that's the verse pattern. You put that together with the chorus pattern, you'll be able to play through the song. Of course you can add in some variations. On the original there are some variations if you want to have a listen and try and copy what Bernard's doing, but those 2 basic patterns will let you get through the tune.